Somebody inboxed me and said, why do you like inflation so much? It's hurting people like me. It always seemed to be, that's what they said, basically it always seemed to be odd that you like that is hurting people. You understand the bankers, you understand this and the third, so forth and so on, or whatever, and it's hurting the average person. Why would you advocate for it? And the first thing I did was I asked some questions about their life. I responded back. And it told me what I suspected. And again, I'm going to reiterate why I like inflation so much. From a business perspective, a materials perspective, a labor perspective, it benefits me just because of the work that I do. When the price of material goes up, so does the price of labor to install those materials. That's just how it works. It's basic economics from the perspective of a carpenter. That's just how the business is. But the chief problem that I have with people that are living in this life, your average American, as they live way beyond their means. They drive cars they cannot afford. They live in homes that they cannot afford. They live a lifestyle that is built up based on credit. It's based up on loans with high interest attached to it. And this lifestyle has caused people to not live in a reality. Because see, when does the average person get hit with the reality of a situation? When they get hit with the reality of a situation? When they're not subsidized. When they can no longer get someone else to finance their lifestyle. And basically what you have with low interest mortgages, what you have with low interest everything, is you have the ability for people to live beyond their means. And I don't think that that's a good thing. I think it's a very destructive thing. I think this is why we're in the situation that we're in today, where we are in an economic decline, we're in a moral decline, we're spiritually bankrupt. And if we continue to go down this route, there's not pretty much going to be any hope for the future. And so personally, I think that $5 a gallon gas, $6 a gallon gas, $7 a gallon gas is going to reset the system and allow people to live in a more realistic environment and live within their means. Because see, me personally, I live within my means. I don't go ahead and extend myself in a whole bunch of debt as to where I can't pay it back, or I got to pay an exorbitant amount of interest. I don't live in that fashion. I don't think that it's a wise thing to live in that fashion. I think that is a very foolish thing to live in that fashion. Because when you live within your means, you can live life to the fullest. You don't live life to the fullest when you are living above and beyond your means. Now, I think, it's very confusing to people who don't understand that, but this is how we're wired today. We're wired in this fashion to put up the front, to live in such a way that we're impressing everybody else. We're driving cars that we can't afford. We're living in places that we can't afford, all to impress and appease others. This is why social media has destroyed this generation today. People are putting on full costumes and getting their hair done and their makeup done and everything, not to go out into the world, but to go on the social media and take pictures and videos. That's why they're doing it. Photo shoots, just to post it on social media. Not because they're some type of designer or some type of model or anything. It's just because they're just living and breathing and they want to look cute and they want likes and shares and hearts. Because this is what it's come down to. People are just so void of anything real today. It is just sad. And they think they're full of something when they ain't really about nothing. The people who do this stuff. So, what high inflation is going to do, higher gas prices, higher food prices are going to do, is it's going to knock a lot of people that live a certain lifestyle. They're not going to be able to live it anymore. And that's what we need. We need a good old-fashioned red pill, hardcore economic crash to get to people to understand that this is where you really are. See, without all of the subsidies, without all the handouts, without all of the people that's financing your lifestyle so that you can be rebellious and that you can be carnal and fill up your flesh, when that goes away, it puts people in a more realistic mind frame. It's going to force them into a more realistic way of life and looking at things from a true and realistic perspective. That's what high food prices and high gas prices are going to do. Because see, once you can't get no more, once the bank don't want to loan you no more money, once you can't get issued any more credit, once you lose your job, once you can't do anything, people are going to revert back to their natural order because it's going to be about survival. And that's what we need. We need the weak, the true weak. Because, see, the true weak are the people that's fronting like they got something when they ain't got nothing. We need those people to be brushed off into the dustpan of history. And the people that are about real skills, real assets, and real friends, and real relationships to rise. Because that's exactly what's going to happen. Folks that are about something ain't going to link up with no bootlickers because they're draining resources. They're not assets. If you cannot be used, you are useless. We say all the time, find a need and fill it. If you want to survive and thrive in this world, find a need. And you're just an average Joe on the street, find a need and fill it. We're going to have to get back to basics because this situation that we got here, it is totally out of control. But a good old-fashioned economic correction in the personal lives of people. Because see, when you can't spend $500, $600, $700 on wigs and fake hair and fake nails or whatever, reality sets in. We get to see you for how you really look. When you can't drive the car to impress the girl, and we see what car you really can afford, we're gonna see what the real deal is. I'm just talking in basic terms. When you find out that you can't afford the great big old, like a lot of people are experiencing right now, bought these great big old houses at low interest rates. Now interest rates is going up. And the equity in their houses are going down. And they're having buyer's remorse. Reality is setting in. And that's what's needed. Reality, economic reality, because we don't have it. We have a whole bunch of money printing. We have a whole bunch of PPP loans and handouts and credit repair scams and issuing credit. And it's all coming to an end. It's all coming to an end. And it needs to. Because we don't produce anything. As a nation, we don't produce anywhere. We are a nation of consumers. A nation of debt-hungry consumers, because all we produce is debt and death, and all we get from other countries is real goods and services in exchange for our paper. It's all coming to an end. So that's why I love high gas prices. That's why I love high food prices. A lot of people already, the reports coming in, the stats coming in, people have drastically reduced. People skipping meals now today. Their children are going without. They ain't eating filet mignon and T-bone steaks and tomahawks and salmon and tuna and backstraps and leg of lamb, and they ain't eating that shit no more. They can't afford it. Well, a lot of people wasn't eating shit in the first place. It always was high. It's just more expensive now. Shit, it was expensive before. You think it's expensive before, it's expensive now. But if you get to hunt and trade and barter and know where to get these things from, you'll be just fine. So yes, please, $5 a gallon gas, please, $6, $7 gas. Hey, yes. High gas prices, yes. Pray with me.